Gateron's new Lunar Probe switch is a step in the right direction, for a different reason than you might think. Let's get into a quick overview, my initial impression, do a sound test, and then I'll wrap up with my thoughts. Okay, the big question. What's up with this dual rail system? Well, the marketing tells us that it improves stability, but I'm not entirely convinced it really does much at all. The switches do have less stem wobble and tight-fitting housings, but I do think that's more so due to the new top housing mold. With that out of the way, I don't think the dual rail system is bad in itself, and to give credit where credit's due, I do think this is one of the best out-of-the-box Gateron switches I've tried yet. Let's listen to a sound test before I get into it. I really like the way these sound. I'll do a side-by-side sound comparison between the Lunar Probes, Cream Sodas, and HMX Lotus in a moment. But first I have to say that these are almost no work needed switches. There is what looks like a mix of 105 and 205 everywhere it should be, but I have noticed that some of my switches have become a bit more muted as I use them. I think this is because excess lubricant is making its way into the pole shaft of the stem, or of the bottom housing rather. But this is something that definitely could get worse and affect the push feel of the switch in the long run. Theoretically, the dual rail system should reduce stem wobble in the north-south axis. While there is a marginally less amount of wobble than the cream soda, the Lunar Probe seems to have a noticeable amount more wobble than these Lotus switches from HMX. To wrap it up, I think that these are good switches. I really like that Gateron is using a new factory lubing technique. It's a step in the right direction and a direct answer to the quality of the stock lube we've seen from manufacturers like HMX or Bison. I really hope that we see more of this in the future. I'd say at around 60 cents a switch, it is worth it for a long pole, deeper sounding Gateron switch, but I do still think that HMX is better value, in my opinion. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. Please consider liking and subscribing, and let me know if you agree or disagree with me on the dual rail system.